What's up, YouTube? This is Reactionary coming back at you guys with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about I didn't call you fat. You have a guilty conscience. This is from Trend Central, as you can kind of see. And the name of the episode, I think it's called Blue Therapy. This is one of the episodes on episode 4. So let's get into it. Try to skip this commercial.
With millions sold, this is the... Right, I'm going to ask you...
Here we go with this. Let me say I turn down my quality here. It's on 480. 480 should be good. Guess not. I'm going to have to bring it down. I'm sorry. I got to bring this quality down just a little bit more.
Just give me some
360 and see if that'll work better.
idea how your life routine was before you got together. So, well...
Now, off the bat, before we even get into the video, the first thing I see is the separation between the two. They're not sitting close to each other. They're kind of sitting on both ends of the couches. So you can see right now, it's already the body language. They're not even close to each other. Their arms are kind of pulled in. Now, I'm not a body language expert. I'm not a psychologist, but just looking at this, just when I pause, look how she's looking at him, and he's looking down. He's not trying to touch her. She's not trying to touch him. So apparently, there's some tension going on right here.
Speaking for myself, of course, I went to work, I got back, I worked in my business. Sometimes I would go and see Paul, obviously do the whole cooking here and there, and he would cook for me. And, you know, if I was in a dirty environment, I would try and clean up, but that's pretty much it. I didn't feel as though there was an obligation to do these things. I didn't feel like it was my duty to cook, for example, you know?
Yeah, so I think she's saying it wasn't her. She didn't feel like it was her duty to cook. I have to rewind it again to see if she said this before or after they got married or before or after they started a relationship. But I think she did say she have her own business. So they both, as you can see, they both have their own either business or a high-paying job, and they both have to go their ways to make their money. So they didn't mention anything about kids, so I don't know if they have kids. And she just off top saying she's not, she sometimes would cook, sometimes would clean, but not all the time. And I think this is kind of where he expects her to do that. So I guess that's what they're going to say in a couple of minutes. Let's find out.
And how was your daily routine?
Literally up in the morning, out with a few clients, come back, work on a few more clients online, food preps. So I'll probably prep for like the next 4 to 5 days, something like that. Tidy environment.
Right. So how has this changed since you've moved in together?
Also, they did say they weren't moved in together. They weren't together at that point in time. So they just moved in together, and now it's different.
I'm his chef and his cleaner. That's how you feel.
You see how she responded to that? I'm his chef. I'm his cleaner, and she's kind of shaking her head like, "Well, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I got into this."
Yes, it is how I feel. I've got a busy schedule as well, but Paul likes it when he gets home from work and food is ready. Since I've moved in with Paul, he now wants me to cook every...
I think most men are like that. Most men want to come home to a house where it's warm, where it's friendly, where the wife has something cooked. You don't have to run in the kitchen, have to boil some hot dogs, cook some chicken burritos, or throw stuff in the microwave. Because women, I don't know, women understand this, but you are the This is what Shahrazad Ali. I can't say her name right. She said women are the gatekeeper of the healthy household. You ladies are the ones who are responsible for the health and relationship. And if you're not cooking, everybody's going out to eat. Everybody wants to run out to eat McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and Chick-fil-A and all these other restaurants, Bojangles or whatever. Then the health of the family is going down. That's why we see a lot of women out here who are pretty much overweight because they don't really want to cook. They want to run the McDonald's. They want to run a fast food restaurant. Right? Are there some out here that's trying? I think there's some, but then once you get into that habit of just going down that road of being used to doing something, it's kind of hard to break those. And you really, really have to want to do that. And you have people who telling you, "Oh, you look good just the way you are. I like you just like that," and you're more likely not going to put in a lot of effort to make that change. Let's see what she has to say.
Every time I have time. in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, every second weekends when I come back from work.
It doesn't look happy.
Honestly speaking, he was eating prior to me moving in, so I don't understand what's going
She said he was eating prior to me moving in. That's all people are eating before we move in together. I'm pretty sure he was eating. I'm pretty sure you were eating. Now she's not wanting to accept the. It pretty much sounds like they didn't talk about what they wanted each one of their what they each one of those responsibilities to be. It doesn't sound like they talked about it before they moved in together. It doesn't sound like they sat down and said, "This is what I want you to do, and this is what I want you to do, and this is what I expect you to do. I would like to have a meal every day, but if you can't, can you have me at least 2 meals a day, if not 3? Can you have the house clean or decent before I get back?" It doesn't sound like they had that conversation because it sounds like they're both working, they're both kind of busy, and it's just, she's saying now she doesn't want to be cooking because he was cooking or he was eating before I got there. He should still be able to eat while I'm here. So what's the problem? That's what it sounds like she's going with it.
on. It wasn't takeout, you were cooking, so why don't you cook? And the thing is with him, he likes fresh meals. I'm not going to cook for you every day. I'm not.
This sounds like the woman who wants a traditional man who doesn't want to be a traditional woman. I know we've heard that term quite a lot in the manosphere. But this kind of sounds like the situation where she wants a traditional man. We'll find out more about that later on in the video. Don't know if I'm going to watch this whole 45-minute video, but we'll see. We'll see as the video goes on if she wants a traditional man but does not want to be a traditional woman. Because it sounds like she wants her to cook some nice meals. I mean, I don't think that's too much to ask. I mean, you can. There's such thing as calling prep for meals. You can prep a meal. You can cook a meal in a crock pot and cook the meal for the next day, and all he has to do is come in and warm it up. There's things that you can do. There's things that can be done. I mean, that's if he's saying he wants it to be fresh, then that's a little different. But you can prep meals, put it in the crock pot, cook it, and have it done for the day. You have your meals prepped for the week and just put them in the freezer. There's options, ladies. There are some options, but I mean, I understand that she doesn't want to. It don't seem like they made it clear to each other what they were expecting from each other before they moved in together. Let's get back.
Your chef. Again, I'm a Nigerian woman. I don't mind submitting to my husband or my boyfriend, and I understand the importance of feeding him. But Paul eats meal preps. He eats rubbish, bland food, unseasoned food, and I don't mind doing that. Maybe on a Sunday evening, but he would like me to prepare these horrible dishes every single day.
At any time.
She says these hard. Now, this is the thing I'm going to say from my experience. I've been married 20 years, and I think what happens is a lot of times we make time for the things that we want to do. If my wife wanted to go out with her friends and she was tired, guess what she would do? Even though she was tired, she would still go out with her friends. If I wanted to do something and I didn't feel like doing it and I really wanted to do it, I would still do it because I would make time to do it. So it's not about what you don't want. It's not about you don't want to do it. It's just like you don't feel like doing it. Because we make time to do the things we want to do. If he was to give her $1,000 and say, "Listen, baby, here you go spend this $1,000 wherever you want to," if she wasn't tired and wouldn't feel like, she would go straight to the mall and go shopping. But that's not an issue because that's something that she would want to do. So there are wants that what you want to do, and there are needs, and there's also this part where I just don't feel like it because I don't want to do it. And that's what it looked like it's good in this particular relationship where she just doesn't want to do it, but I'm pretty sure you can make a little time. I mean, it doesn't take forever to do this. You can take a 5-10 minutes and do this, do that. Get it prepped for the next day. Then when you wake up, okay, I can throw this in the crock pot, turn it on, and I'm gone. I mean, there's ways to do it. If you really want to find a way to do it, you can experiment and play around. And okay, I'll try this, I'll try that. And just at least try. It doesn't sound like they're trying either one, or at least on her part, it doesn't sound like she's at least putting in a little bit more of an effort to do it the way he wants to, and then come back and say, I can't. I'm not able to do it this way. Can we try something else? Can we come to a middle ground, and I can do only maybe 1.5 or 2 meals a day? Maybe I'll do just breakfast and dinner. And on the weekend, let's say we can do that. Maybe I can do it 4 times a week and not on the weekend, and see if we can just work that out.
Do you ever eat the same meal together?
Let me tell you one of my biggest problems. He's kind of denounced our cultural foods.
Oh.
Yes. So he has issues with the fact it's oily. Even though he eats ice cream and he has takeout, he finds it too heavy. you don't have to eat it during the week, but on Sundays, for example, we can have a dinner. We could have some African dishes and that's one of the reasons he actually fell in love with me, my cooking. And all of a sudden now it's too fresh or it's too heavy and it's too fatty. There's too many calories in these dishes for him.
Have you always watched the calories and your weight, presumably, if you're watching the calories, or is this a new scenario?
It's a very good question. I feel like Trauma is very selfish. What's funny?
How am I selfish? Because I want to cook for you.
Okay, but what's funny though?
The fact you just said I'm selfish.
So
What
when
does
you
that
were
mean?
talking, I wasn't laughing.
No, well, first of all, I'm not selfish. I would like to cook for him, but he makes it very difficult to cater to him when I'm busy as well.
Based on the question she asked.
Yeah, it looks like both of them are almost checked out of this, whatever it is. I don't know if it's a relationship. I don't know if it's a marriage. I don't know if they're boyfriend or girlfriend. I didn't hear him say marriage, so I'm assuming it's just dating until they say something else. But it seems like they're both kind of checked out of the relationship. And I guess they're in therapy. This is blue therapy. I guess they're in therapy to see if they can make it work or not. Because she's saying that she's laughing while he's trying to say she's selfish. And let's see if he has an explanation of why she's selfish.
In terms of my food history, you basically have knowledge of it. You know, I don't know you to tell you anything about myself, but here we are. I'll give you a tiny bit of background. So I actually went through depression at a stage, and food was my outlet. So at that time, you know, if I was going through stress or anything, I used to eat, and that was just me making myself feel happy for the short term, but damaging my own body in the long term. It actually took me quite a while to, you know, lose the weight, get into shape. And, you know, since I've kind of got back onto track, I've been very basically religious and strict with my workouts, you know, my diet and stuff like that. You know, I literally have a board in a room which shows, you know, what I plan to eat. This is something that I take very seriously.
I feel bad. I feel like I've let him down in some way. I don't understand why he didn't feel comfortable enough to speak to me about it. And it really does upset me that, you know.
Well, one, because a lot of times when the men try to tell women stuff, they take it the wrong way. Kind of like when she was kind of laughing when he was telling her that she was not being considerate. I forgot the exact word he used, but he was saying she was being inconsiderate of what he was asking for, and she just kind of chuckled. I didn't hear her laugh, but he said she laughed. And sometimes men don't tell women this because they just don't feel like if they tell you, you're either gonna take it the wrong way, or you're not gonna do it anyway. So it's kind of like this. It depends on the woman. Like if it sounds like if you have to tell you this and you're just not gonna do it anyway, or you're just not gonna just like water running down your back. Like what's the point? Because if you've been in a relationship for a person for a certain amount of time, you kind of know if you tell them something, either they're gonna do it or they're not. Or if I tell you this, you're just gonna not do it anyway. Basically.
I'm hearing about it for the first time in our therapy session.
I didn't tell Trauma about my depression because I feel like, first of all, it's something that's very sensitive and personal. And at the same time, she can be quite insensitive as well. So, you know, if I'm just going to just kind of give off something just like that, it's easy for her to kind of use that to manipulate and potentially push my buttons, basically.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to have that.
And just excuse, were you doing this when you were together?
Can I just point something out? This is my problem with him. So he's just expressed something to you that he's never expressed to me. I had no idea that he was depressed and used food as an outlet. You've never once told me that, and we've been together 3 years. So of course, me wanting to make you traditional food is going to come across selfish if I don't know this knowledge. To me, he wants me to do meal preps. You want to live a healthy lifestyle, which is absolutely fine. But the fact that you used to cook before and now you don't want to cook is what I'm complaining about. I had no idea that you were depressed, babe.
So now she wants him to cook.
He easily said that to me. We could have had a conversation about this and I would never bring it up.
Okay. So let's look at it like this, right? Okay. I used to cook for you, right?
Yes, you did.
What did I used to cook?
He would make like rice, some stew, chicken.
Do you see me eating that now? Let me ask you a question. If you know that the way I've kind of changed my food and lifestyle has made me into the man that I am, and if you're happy with what you have, why would you... Does this... Okay, look, okay, babe. All right, look at me. Not in a cocky way, but just look at me.
What does that mean?
Do you like what you see?
When I met him, he was fat.
Oh, really?
So, yes. So we started gymming, yeah, and
Now, this is the reason why he said he wouldn't have told her that. Now she's telling her when I met him, he was fat. And since now he's lost weight, he's changed his diet, and the result of that is him sitting right there. And now he's like, man, now you're going to tell me I'm fat after I thought when I watched this video that he was calling her fat, but apparently she's calling him fat. And now he's looking like, oh wow. And this is the reason why he was saying in a couple minutes, in the video, he didn't want to tell her about his depression because he didn't want her to use that against him.
my African dishes, these fatty dishes, also built you to the man you are today. Correct?
African
You
dishes.
loved it.
The majority
correct?
of African dishes are filled with carbs. Muscles are built based on protein. So technically speaking,
Well, you can eat beans. You can eat beans and yam porridge. You can eat all these things. Can you not?
I feel like with Choma's diet, she doesn't take it seriously. Considering what I do, the people I work with, and the results that I get, the results I've got for myself, I think that should kind of motivate her to want to take her diet more seriously. But she doesn't, and that's basically a red flag to me. Like, how are we gonna work?
I'm not even trying to make it every single day. That's the thing. I'm not trying to make him eat that every single day. For me, I just want it to be incorporated in our lifestyle. If we have children, my kids are going to eat these things. I hope you know. And I hope they're even addicted to pounded yam. If you don't like it, that's your business. You can live
Really?
on your
Wow.
meal prep, your bland chicken, and is it
Yeah, this doesn't sound like it's about to go anywhere in this relationship.
broccoli. If you like that, you can eat.
This relationship doesn't sound like it's gonna go anywhere. I don't think they're gonna get married
This is body
from the
armor.
way this is going.
Forget that. Be prepared for anything with our level.
Eat that.
We have touched on it before, but I'd like to just bring it back for the moment. The trust issue. Who'd like to start on that one?
Is this the same? Oh, this is another one?
So Deborah claims that she doesn't trust me, which is...
Well, this is like a whole nother episode. I thought this was just gonna be all about the one episode, but they're just kind of skipping around. I don't know why. They're skipping around, and now they're gonna come back to this one. This is kind of crazy. I thought it was gonna be just about one thing. A lot of times they do them on panels where they have more than one people, and it looks like they're going back and forth between them both. So let's see what they're talking about on this one.
What's the word for it? Mind-boggling, because I feel like trust is so important in a relationship. If she doesn't trust me, why exactly are we in this relationship, honestly?
Have you
Right.
ever given her a reason not to trust you?
Never.
Excuse me?
Before, I don't think there's actually a particular time. Well, there's actually never.
So you never lied and said that you were somewhere and you were somewhere else?
No, I never.
Memory loss, sounds like.
What are you talking about?
So Jamel told me that he was training a client.
Which I
and
was.
Actually, he wasn't. He was just at his boy's house. Now, he wasn't actually doing anything wrong, but you said you were training a client, but you were at your friend's house. It's just little things like that. It's dishonesty, and it really didn't have to happen to me. You could have just said that you were at your boy's house. That's it.
Was there a reason why you didn't say where you were?
I literally went to go and collect some equipment. That was the only reason, and I went back to my training my client.
No.
Yes.
That's not what he told me. That's a different story, because you said that actually you wanted to train him that day, but then you ended up chilling. So then
I
now
don't
you're
wanna train my
saying
friends.
that you... Okay.
Echo.
Well, his story is just not adding up, Jamel. Like, I don't want to talk about that. Jamel is just too dodgy. Like, we're always having female...
See, the thing about this, it's like he said, if you don't trust me, then why are you in this relationship? Why are we together? Why are we together if you don't trust me?
issues. There's too many females around him, whether it's Clubhouse or his fitness. We're just always having issues about it, and that actually increases the trust issues that we have, and more reason why I'm always seeking to find out like where he's going or what he's doing.
I think you did mention before that some of his ladies that he trains you're not happy with.
One time I decided to stop off and pick up Jamel from one of his training sessions in Brixton, and you know, he didn't expect me to come up, but I went upstairs and I was just like hovering around, And I wasn't really understanding the kind of contact that he was having with some of the females. It was a little bit close. Yeah, it was too close for me. And yeah, that's another thing that he does that I find, quite strange.
Is that within the realms of your job, though?
With contact, I rarely touch any client. I feel that's literally a PT protocol. Like, you never touch them.
I don't think we were touching. I would just say, just the interaction, the verbals. Like, I could hear what you guys were speaking about, and it wasn't entirely about training.
So what was it about? If you...
You know what you were speaking about with that girl. Like, let me not even name drop, because you're not going to want that, okay? So you know what you were doing, Jamal.
I feel like you're just so fixated on something. I feel that's the issue with Deborah. Once she kind of has her mind set on something, that is it. And there's no change in that. I feel like it's a bit too much. It's overbearing, honestly.
So
Denise, can I? You're familiar with palm
Oh,
oil,
it
right?
flipped back fast.
with
Palm oil?
palm oil, yes.
Yeah. Do you eat it at all?
I don't know.
Why?
I've never used it in cooking, so
No, he's
It's
questioning her.
quite bad for you, actually. It's quite bad for your insides. So, but at the same time, if you know, to be fair, if you did use it in cooking, in terms of, well, proportionately, if you weigh it, stuff like that, some people don't do that. But if you did, then maybe you'll be able to calculate what you're eating. So, in theory, what I'm trying to say is, I don't have an issue with African dishes, but if the calories are not calculated, you're just filling your gut and you don't even know what's going on with your body.
You do have an issue with African dishes because if you're talking about calories, like I said before, he eats ice cream, he eats donuts,
It's calculated.
he eats donuts, and he also
calculated.
eats takeout, so pizza and
calculated.
etc.
It's calculated.
I don't need to calculate. Did your mum calculate when she was making you African dishes? These foods are not calculated. I calculate with my eyes. So I know how much palm oil I put in there. I know how much oil and ingredients and Maggi I need to put in these dishes. My ancestors never calculated. My mum didn't calculate, nor did my grandma. Nobody that taught me how to make my traditional food is not calculated.
But is there some way that maybe you could
Modify
prepare
the dish.
food in a more healthy way that would be more suited
I'm not
to
going
the
to
way
remix
Paul
the food.
wants to eat?
I'm
So
not
she's
going to
not gonna
remix
do
jollof
it.
rice or remix pounded yam and F4 rural. I'm not going to remix that. That's how it's supposed
So
to
she's
taste.
not
If you
going to do
remix
it.
it becomes something else.
It
But
becomes
then
what your husband wants.
surely there's a way that you could work together to find food that works for both of you.
I think
That's what I was saying earlier. It should be a way for both parties to come together and find the middle ground, somewhere in the middle. If she's saying she's not going to do it, she's going to cook it the way she knows how to do it instead of saying, okay, maybe I can cook these and I can eat this for me if that's what I want to eat, or maybe I can cook both of us a healthier meal. That's probably what he's trying to do, is to get both of them to eat healthy, but she's just not doing it because she doesn't want to do it. Like I was saying, like some things you just have to, it's some things you want to do, some things you have to want to do. And she's just saying, I don't want to do it. Like she was saying earlier, it's like, why he's cooked before I got here? Why doesn't he cook now? Like,
he's just become bougie. I think for him, he feels
oh, so now he's become bougie. She said he was fat, and now he's lost the weight. I'm pretty sure it looks like a better guy than when she met him. If he was so called fat when she met him, and now he's become bougie. Okay,
like eating these kinds of food makes him look bad, or you feel some type of way, maybe eating with your hands. Is that what it is?
he just said he went through a part of depression in his life, and now he's worked his way out of it, and he's trying to get himself back into shape. Pretty much, he is in shape right now, but he doesn't want to go. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to go back in it. He wants to stay healthy. He wants to live a healthy life, and he wants to live longer. So he wants to eat healthier meals, and she's just not on board with it. She wants to keep eating what she's been eating. It's kind of like the women today you see in the U.S. where they and they sound like they're in England or in London, one of those, maybe the U.K., maybe the same thing. But they're not in the U.S. So it sounds like he's just asking her to to just change, at least change the food you cook for me. That's all I'm asking. Yeah, I used to cook for myself, but now I've made a change, and you see the difference. But you don't want me to stay the person I am. You want me to keep eating the greasy foods, and you want me to try to stay the man that I am. As far as him saying he wants to stay looking the way he is, he's not fat, and I don't know what he looked like before. And she said he was fat. So, let's get back into this.
I disagree.
So I actually realised that Paul's got an issue with African dishes.
Now, just to point out, if you look at her right here, you can see kind of like right here where she has like a little round part of her body. I'm not trying to make fun of her, trying to shame her, or nothing. But if you can see right here, you can kind of see it kind of sticks out a little bit. You can kind of see right there and right there, which kind of like, just sticking out.
We're Nigerian. We grew up on these foods, so I'm a bit confused. I can't eat African food every
Because he
single
wants to
day,
eat healthy, healthier.
but I wish to incorporate it into our lives and our dishes. I'm
Well, maybe talk to him. He just told you he does calculated dishes. Why not work with him and say, babe, I'll make these meals, but if you want to eat calculated dishes, you can take a certain portion of the dish and put the rest up for later. In a couple of days, you can come back and eat another portion of this dish if it's that much more fat. Can I do that for you? That's where the communication comes in. That's where you talk about it. That's where you ask somebody, and you kind of make that middle ground. She just saying, I'm not going to do it. Why not make it a little bit more healthy? You don't have to make it completely healthy. You just say, I'll make it a little bit more healthy for you, and you can take it in different portions if you want to eat calculated. But she just apparently she doesn't even want to do that. From what I'm hearing.
African. I'm proud to be African. I'm proud to be Nigerian, and I'm proud of the dishes I cook.
It doesn't mean that you're not proud because he asked you to eat a healthier dish if those dishes aren't healthy for him, and he's actually showing you and telling you that he was in a state of depression. That food is probably ate it when he was depressed, and then he just decided that, oh, okay, I'm not doing some point there during your 3 year relationship. He decided that he doesn't want to eat those unhealthy foods after looking into it and seeing that it's not healthy for me, and I want to get he wanted to get into shape, so that's what he did. He changed his eating. And he also said he works out, so he wants to change his lifestyle, and she doesn't seem like she agrees. And I don't know why, because most women they pretty much they like a guy to look nice and fit. They don't want a guy that's heavy and fat or overweight or whatever. But it sounds like she just wants to cook her food no matter the consequence.
When we first started dating, right, we used to. I remember I took her to this restaurant in Peckham. It's called Lolak or Lolake. There's that. When we go there, we're getting down. It's kind of like a real bush. No, let me not say bush, but kind of you get down and use your hands and all that stuff. But when you kind of think about it, if I'm wearing a 2K suit, do I want to be in Peckham Market? No. I'd probably want to be Piccadilly Circus.
So in other words, you're saying that I'm bush.
I'm not saying you're bush,
Because
but
we go out to high-end restaurants. I would still love to eat pounded yam and efferiro. It's always going to be a part of me.
no. That's
What I am telling you, Paul, babe, is that we eat it. We incorporate it into our lifestyle. We don't have to denounce it for what? For steak? What are you talking about? These things are two different things.
What I'm saying
You don't need to
here,
wear a 2K suit. You can wear jeans. He's pissing me off. You can wear tracksuits.
yeah, but what
Do you dress like this 24/7?
Now, for what I'm saying here, it's about to go to commercial. It looks like she's getting more. I don't know if he's like this all the time, but it looks like she's the more aggressive in the relationship. He's talking calm. I don't know if he's doing this now because they're on TV and they're in the and they're just have a camera for them. But it seems like she's more of the aggressor in the relationship. She's pushing back. I know she's getting upset, and I'm pretty sure he's upset too. But it seems like she's more of the aggressor right now. Let's see what she's about to say.
I'm not wearing clothes 24/7.
So growing up, my mum and my grandma actually taught me how to cook all these dishes that I make now. I'm not going to disrespect them by quantifying and measuring.
Now, I can say most women don't know how to cook with their grandmother, and their mother taught them, so I'll give her credit on that. But if you're in a relationship with somebody and they're saying, and they decided, let's say you were 3 years, and 2 years, 6 months into the relationship, you decide, babe, I've been gaining weight. I want to change the way I'm eating. I want to change what I'm eating. I'm going to start working out. I want to lose some weight because I don't feel like I'm at my healthiest, so let me lose some weight. And you just tell them, okay, no, I'm still going to cook what I'm going to cook. I'm still going to cook the greasy meals. I'm still going to do this and do that. You're creating an issue that you don't have to create. There is a compromise. There is a place in the middle where you can meet, but she's just saying she doesn't want to do it. And again, I give her credit for learning what her grandmother and her mother cook, because most people these days, most modern women in the U.S., they don't even know that. They don't even know how to cook like a decent one meal. It's either microwave or something that's very, very simple. That's what it is most of the time. A lot of women don't know how to cook. I'm pretty sure there's some, but most do not. And I think she just wants to hang on to her heritage, which is fine. But you have to sometimes she may even have to experiment with the meals that she have just to make it a little bit more healthy for him. Just tell her husband, baby, it might take me a while to adjust, but let me experiment for a while to see if I can, you know, make these meals more healthier. What do you want me to add to them, or even get some suggestions and just work it out? You can make meals for both of you. Or if you want to make separate meals, make separate meals. And like I said earlier, you can just say, I'll cook the way I've been cooking, just take some portions. You don't have to eat the whole thing. Just take some portions. Like you said, you wanted to, kind of make it different. I forgot the word you used, but he wanted to do certain portions. Just take the portions and eat those portions.
In every
Or
single ingredients that I put into it. For me, this is how it's supposed to taste and this is how it's supposed to be made. This whole westernized way of cooking, that's how they make their dishes.
Shoma, what?
No, it's not the westernized way of cooking. It's not really a westernized way of cooking. It's kind of like this. The meal is either healthy or it's not healthy. If you ain't, and it may be been a time when her grandmother and her mother were cooking where just it may have been good for them. But now we live in a world where everything is analyzed as far as calories. Even when you go to McDonald's, McDonald's has been forced. For a while back, when you go to McDonald's, there was no menu with calories on it. Not everywhere you go is calories out there, so people can live, at least try if they wanted to live, and eat more healthy. But she's just denying it
Is
most
coming
part.
over here is that you both have a different plan.
Yeah, that's what
And
I get too. Yeah,
at some point, if you were to both get onto each other's page,
really, that's what I'm
it
saying.
would
Meet in the
be
middle.
an easier solution.
In the middle.
There's no period and there's no preach. So stop doing that because that's patronizing. Okay? He's
Hold on,
exaggerating.
I didn't hear what
This
he
is how
said.
it's supposed to
I
taste
didn't hear what he
and this
said.
is how it's supposed to be made. This whole westernized way of cooking, that's how they make their dishes.
Shoma, what is coming over here is that you both have a different plan. And at some point, if you were to both get onto each other's page,
Preach.
it would be an easier solution.
Period.
There's no period and there's no preach. So stop doing that because that's patronizing. Okay? He's exaggerating. He's telling you like I want him to eat palm oil every single day. I don't do that.
Fucking fry it every day.
No, I don't fry palm oil every day.
No. I'm getting a tiny bit pissed off. Let's think about this now. All right. Let me give you a case scenario, right? So, let's say I'm up in, give or take, Mayfair, training a client, huge mansion, right? Now, I'm preaching, eat healthy, be fit. Come on, let's go. 5 more reps, right? I get home, we've got the fucking Afrobeats whiz kid pumping in the house, yeah? Chubba's there dancing around, frying oil in a fucking pot. What the hell?
Now it's
There's a
funny.
fucking spray that you can spray to calculate the thing. I've told her this a million times. You come in the house to fucking play a whiz kid like we're in a fucking village. What type of crap is that?
I like Afrobeats.
I love Afrobeats.
I also listen to other genres. What I don't know what you're talking about.
Now they just agreed on something. I don't even know if they both realized. They both said they love Afro beats, whatever that is. Now why can't they start there and say let's start with the Afro beats. Let me make a meal right here with this and let's go.
I don't eat palm oil every day. I don't know what house you're going to, but I don't eat palm oil every day. I would like to eat these heavy foods maybe on a Sunday. I also eat steak and salmon
Okay.
and sea bass and everything else that he eats, just seasoned, all right? What I'm trying to say is the fact Paul does not like African dishes. We are both Nigerian. Do you understand that?
I don't know if he doesn't like it. He just doesn't want the unhealthy part of it. Why can't she? I don't think she's hearing that. He doesn't want the unhealthy. If you can make those dishes more healthy, he can eat them. But she does. She says she's not going to do it. So it's not just that he won't eat them. He wants you to make them healthier for him. Meet them in the middle ground. That's kind of what the lady was just saying. Trying to why on both of you on the same level, kind of meet in the middle. And doesn't sound like she wants to do that.
We come from a place.
I know you're probably saying, why does she have to do that? Why doesn't he have to do it? It seems like they both have to do it. They both have to meet on the middle ground. He's just saying, I want to eat healthier because I don't want to go back to being the fat guy that she just called him. So let's meet in the middle so I can not go back to being the fat guy and I can stay healthy. Like it sounds like he has a business where he has a business with people who he helps to work out. He says he's going to his clients and he's working them out. He comes back home and it's fatty food, so he doesn't want to come home with that. Can you make those adjustments?
So he's denounced his culture all for his Mayfair clients. This is my issue. Not that I want him to.
I don't think he denounced his culture for his clients. He's kind of not eating it for a lifestyle. He wants to live a healthier lifestyle. And if she can just look at it and say, let me see if I can make these dishes somewhat healthier for you, would you eat them? And if not, why not eat them in the portions? but she's not. I don't think she's thinking about that. But he's like he wants to eat healthier. If he's not going to eat the dish and he doesn't think it's healthy enough for him.
But
Do it every single day.
with the greatest respect, the Mayfair clients aren't in your house. When
So
you
why does
go
he come
home,
home with that same attitude?
Okay, but if you have clients and you're working out and you in the fitness exercise slash gym, and you have clients trying to, who's going to be exercise out with a person that's overweight? Who's going to let somebody exercise them out that's overweight themselves? That's not going to work. So she's saying, well, something about coming back to the house, something to that effect. They're not in your household, but if you go to a client and you're overweight, or if you gain weight and you're going back fat and you used to be in shape, what do you think that client's gonna do when they look at you like, man, you're not losing weight? Well, what are you doing? I need to get somebody in here who knows what they're doing. Apparently, you fell off, so they're not gonna look at you in the same way if you come to their house and you're fit and you're trying to get them fit, and then you all of a sudden show up and you're overweight, or you start to gain weight. That's just not how that works.
Choma has this whole kind of Afrocentric type of, go back to Africa, I'm African and I'm proud. Yeah, we're all proud to be African. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But at the same time, we're in London right now. Like, let's get with the program. Do you understand? Africa, yeah, we could do that another time. But right now we're here.
Now, like I did with her, you can look at him. He's not wearing nothing tight, so I can't see his midsection, but it doesn't look like his stomach is sticking out. You can see his arms are kind of, that look like he's been working out. So he has been working out. I can't see the midsection. I don't know if I see that, but he can tell he's been kind of working out.
Let's get to grips of what's going on.
so most of the people you train, do you actually know them?
So it looks like both of them are trainers, but I don't know if I'm going to watch this whole thing going back and forth between these two couples. I really just want to do the other couple that keeps jumping in with the other one. I'm going to see if I can skip that and get back to the other one. And I'll maybe watch a little bit more. So I don't want to keep flipping back and forth between the different couples. Let's see, that's it. Try that. Let's try this.
Where within yourself to somehow compromise.
Just talking about compromise. A lot of people, that's something else a lot of people don't want to compromise. A lot of people in relationships, they really don't want to compromise. They want everything to go their way.
The way you want to eat so that you're both working together.
Well, I can easily gain weight and be fucking nutty professor, if that's what you mean.
Or you can easily cook for yourself. Because again, like I said, I don't mind if he eats that, but just make it yourself. Or we do it on a Sunday.
Oh, I skipped it, man. So she's basically saying, just cook. If I'm not going to change, you need to cook for yourself if that's what you want. I don't even know where I was, man. I kind of messed this up. Let me see here.
I could find
All this body, he's wasting it because we don't even have sex. So stop all your rubbish.
Ooh, that's a low blow.
On that note,
Okay.
The way you
Wow.
want to eat so that you're both working together.
Well, I can easily gain weight and be fucking nutty professor, if that's what you mean.
Or you can easily cook for yourself. Because again, like I said, I don't mind if he eats that, but just make it yourself. Or we do it on a Sunday.
Yeah,
all this fresh
that's a
food
brilliant
every single
idea.
day. I've got things to do.
Yeah, brilliant idea. We did speak previously about whether or not you had anything in common, that you do together. This would be possibly a perfect scenario.
If I had the time.
On a Sunday?
Go on.
Look, okay.
Or you just choose not to.
No. To be fair, Sunday, day of rest and stuff. Okay, cool. But if I have a client and they have, a fashion show coming up, one of the models I train, basically, I need to make sure that I'm on her case to make sure that she's getting the job done. If I have another client, for instance, in terms of like a website design.
Who are you lying to? Who are you lying to? Because remember, Denise doesn't live with us. I live with you to know you have time. Okay? I'm not saying you're not busy. You are, babe. I get that. But you have time. You can make time during the day. He knows he can. So what are you lying about?
When you run a business, you don't know how much time.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought about your...
And I think when she's not getting it, like when you I'm pretty sure she's at a job. But I don't know if it's like 100% business. I'm assuming it is. And if you have a client and they just call you out of the blue, it's pretty much like your time is their time. So you have to be there if you want to keep that client. So you're doing everything you can to keep this client. So if they call you and say they have a fashion show or something, you more likely are going to show up.
You have time to cook, Paul.
Okay. could find.
All this body, he's wasting it because we don't even have sex. So stop all your rubbish.
Oh, that's a
Okay,
low blow.
on that note,
That's a low blow. It's gonna be a long night. Let's go.
no, please don't make fun of it because this, is a very important scenario. You talk about your business in a very serious way.
Yeah, it
And
is.
your relationship is also a very serious business.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Shoma has just mentioned the sexual side of your life. Now,
Mm-hmm.
has it always been this way? Or when you first got together, was it very different?
When we first got together, we used to fuck like animals. Do you understand? We had things to do. We were still busy. You and I, we had jobs.
Oh, it seems like she misses it. I mean, he says we used to fuck like animals, and I guess now she's not getting that anymore. And here we go.
We had businesses. We were busy, but we made time to have sex. Now I don't understand what it is. I don't
Animals.
I don't know if Paul is cheating. I don't know if he
We're
doesn't
not
find me
animals.
attractive.
We're not
It
animals.
doesn't. Okay, well, ask him. When was the last time we had sex?
Scientifically, yes, we are animals, but we're not in the bloody forest, are we? Do you understand? Like, I'm not just gonna come home, start jumping up and down like a rabbit. Like, who's got time for that? I'm busy. I'm making money. Like, I'm not just there laying around with my legs open, ready to do a madness. It's not like that.
When last did you fuck me?
Do you really want to go there?
Please, no, answer the question. Do you remember? Because I
Lord
don't.
have mercy.
I'll tell you.
How can I be in the same house touching myself with a boyfriend in the same house with me?
Okay, no, Denise, I've got this.
Right.
Okay.
Let's just hear what Paul's got to say.
All right, babe, I love you.
So why don't you touch me?
When I come home from work and I see my girlfriend, right? When I just see her, I'm happy. That's love to me. That's enough for me. But at the same time, why do you feel like you need me inside of you 247 before you can feel loved?
I don't feel like I need you inside me 247, but I'm not wood. Okay, I'm a woman, and I find you attractive, and I would like to have sex with you once in a while, even if it's once a week, babe, because we don't do that. I understand that I might have a high sex drive, but Paul has a very low sex drive, and
Well, it sounds like it's reversed. This is normally what happens in a long-term relationships, and they're experiencing it pretty early on. But it's normally it seems like it's in reverse. But most of the time, it's a men's sex drive, and a lot of the times the women have the low sex drive. So I don't know if it's him working out, him getting clients more clients, getting more busy, whatever. He just doesn't feel like because he's tired or whatever and worn out. He's more concerned about the meals, but sounds like she's just unsatisfied with the sex life. She says she used to have sex like animals, and now it's just not there. And now she's like confused, like what's going on? What happened? You used to be sexually attracted to me, and now you're not. Just like she said, why don't you touch me? You know.
we can meet in the middle somehow. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind having sex at least 3 times a week. We are not even having that a month. So, of course, I have every right to complain. I feel that it's a disrespect to him and to myself that I'm having to touch myself in my house when I live with my partner.
What you need to do first, right? I understand that you love me, but I also understand I love me. Okay?
So you don't want to have
No,
sex?
what I'm saying is, you need to love you first.
I love me.
You need to love you more.
To do what? To not be able to release?
No, in order for you to not feel like you need me to be inside of you before you can feel loved.
Don't let me suspect you, because at the end of the
It sounds like they didn't have they didn't have a longer conversation because they brought all this into this blue therapy session, and it doesn't sound like they talked about this a lot. And they said they've been together 3 years. They live in the same house. They're not married, so they're pretty much boyfriend and girlfriend living together. And they were having good sex in the beginning, and now they're not. And she's saying she has to pretty much play with herself to get off instead of having sex with her man, which she loves or which she cares about. So she's pretty much voicing her, how she feels about her sex life, which she doesn't think is going in the right direction.
day, I don't understand what this means. I could be in the house with booty shorts. Paul will walk past me.
You want me to say, hey, you're wearing booty shorts?
No, you can touch my bum. I don't know, slip it in or something.
She said slip it in. Oh my goodness! Look at look at his face. Like, what are you talking about? She said you can touch my bun, you can slip it in. I'm like, do something. I'm laughing, but it's really not funny because once you get to that point of, I'll say this: once you get to the point of sexual frustration, man or woman, it's going to come to a point to where you start thinking to yourself, should I cheat? Should I go outside of this relationship because you've been waiting, you've been faithful, you haven't done anything. I have these urges, and then you start to think about, should I cheat? Should I go somewhere else? Should I leave? And you have all of these emotions and things, and that's probably the reason why she started checking up on it, because she said earlier she used to go by the house when he has clients. No, I think that was the other relationship, but I think she did say she thought something else was going on because he weren't touching her anymore and they're not having the sex the way they used to. And a lot of times in a relationship, you may have sex a lot in the beginning, but most times it's going to kind of slow down a little bit, but not. It shouldn't slow down a lot. But once you're in a long-term relationship, this is normally what happens when you're in a long-term relationship. Sex just slows down.
Do something that men do to their girls when they see them. Honestly,
Now he's
Do you
laughing.
ever instigate sex with him?
all the time. There's a situation where we planned to have sex. Paul was, I don't know what happened. He agreed anyway. I'm so embarrassed saying this. Like, we organized the day where we were going to have sex. I went out, I bought.
Well, I don't. It doesn't sound like they have kids, so I don't know why they should be planning to have sex. It shouldn't be have to be a plan if you don't have kids. I understand they're both busy, but she said she walking around with booty shorts on. I guess to see if he's paying attention, to see if he's enticed, to see if this turns him on. Or maybe they need to have a conversation and say, babe, what do I need to put on some lingerie? Do I need to walk around with nothing? I mean, what do I need to do to get you turned on? It's like a conversation that they're not having that they could have done outside of this blue therapy session. I mean, you just sit down and have a conversation and go from there. And if he's not willing to have that conversation, I understand why you're there. But you just have to have. It doesn't sound like they had a lot of conversation about what they're talking about here, and they've kind of been holding back and not been having these conversations with themselves. They've been having them outside of. We're not having the conversations at all, from what it sounds like.
Lingerie. I bought rose petals, wine. Dimmed the lights, everything. Paul came in. Do you know what he did? He ate
Went to
and he
sleep.
went to bed. I have to get him on weekends and we have to put it in our diary because he's very much about diary. Let's schedule this. Let's put this in our diary, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to make me feel unattractive, even though I know I'm sexy as fuck. And I know there's men out there that would want what he doesn't want. So for me, it's like,
See what I'm saying?
if you don't want it, then let me go, kind of thing.
See what I'm saying? That's what I was just saying. She's getting to the point to where she's already noticing other guys that are paying attention to her because he's not giving her the sex that she needs. So a lot of times that's what happens. You start noticing other people that give you the sexual attention that you're not getting somewhere else, and they're not married, so it's not like it's not like they are in this. They're not married, so they're pretty much a boyfriend and girlfriend. They're just living together. They've been together a couple of years, and she's saying let her go, but you can also leave. I mean, it's either or. Like he can say I don't want you anymore or whatever. I'm not attracted to you sexually or whatever, and she can also walk away from the relationship as well. It's not just him telling you not just saying let me go, but you also have the option to leave as well.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so that day, long story short, had a late night. So one of my clients, one of my top clients, he's only in the country 2 weeks out of the month. He lives in Abu Dhabi. Long story. Anyhow, so I actually set him a target. So because he was going on holiday, I assumed that he.
Something else they can do. I just thought about this. If he was tell her I can drop these clients, I won't make the same amount of money. I can drop down to half my clients. We can have sex more. I can gain more weight. Would you be happy with that? Just have a conversation about it. How much happier would you be with me if I gained the weight back? I start working out. I cut down half of my clients. More than likely, one of my clients are not going to be there if I start gaining weight again. So how would you feel if I lost that? So which one, just ask which one do you want, or do you want to meet in the middle? Where can we find this happy ending that you want and need?
Wasn't going to reach that fitness target, and I had a bet with him that if he exceeds the target, I'll run 10K in front of him. So with clients like that, I can't say to them, "Oh, I'll give you a discount." That doesn't work. You need to do something. So long story short, He hit his target, and I ran the 10K, right? By the time I got home, I was knackered. Now, Chomo basically wants me to carry her that night.
Not necessarily.
It's a joke.
Did you say anything about your situation at work, or did you leave Shoma not knowing why? Because it might have been read as if you weren't interested.
Of course I'm interested. I'll be about it.
No, I don't think he is, because at the end of the day, I knew nothing about the 10K. He agreed to have sex that day, so why are we not having
No,
sex?
because...
You let me go out and buy lingerie, you allowed me to cook, you still ate the food. Why were you tired to eat?
I'll tell you the problem that I have with Chomo, right? I feel like whenever she initiates sex, it's not genuine. And what I mean by that, but let me explain. No, I'll make it, it's going to make sense now. So she has different approaches, right? Sometimes I could be at the door, she's dragging me in from the tie. You understand? Other times, she could play it cool. She could say, okay, you know what, she's going to cook this, meal prep, by the way. She'll cook this. So look, listen to this, right? One day, long story short, by the end of the night, she had the rose petals, she had the candles, she had the massage bed, right? So I'm laying down, I'm getting the massage, and I just think to myself, you know what the funny thing is? 1,000,000% that massage has to end with a happy ending.
Why are you saying it like I did something wrong?
But that's not a happy ending.
Sex is not a happy ending.
No, if a massage has to have a happy ending, that is not a happy ending. Do you see where I'm coming from? We can just look at each other, just have a conversation, even sit in silence. It doesn't...
It sounds like he just lost interest for some reason. I don't know what it is, but he just sounds like he's just not interested in the sex with her anymore. He's saying a happy ending shouldn't end with a happy ending. A lot of times when a man is turned, I don't know many men that are turned on by a woman who doesn't, sleep with him, even if it's just for a couple of seconds. I mean, they may not be lasting long or whatever, but they probably at least would do that. For most men, now, if a man who's having sex quite often, he's not going to get, when he does get it, it's not going to be as appealing to him. But it just sounds like for whatever reason, he's not interested in sex with her anymore. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of all the arguing. I don't know if it's because of they both have long schedules or whatever. But it just sounds like for whatever reason, he's lost the interest.
Necessarily have to be the bang bang. It's not like that. I just like a calm vibe. Like let's be chilled with it. Let's be mature.
Why am I having to do these things in order to have sex with my man? Why do I have to lure him in order to put him in a position where, okay,
I'm a
sapiosexual?
I'm a sapiosexual.
Now, most of the time, I think I would agree that most women would have to. They would have to do that after a while. I mean, it would be nice to have have someone to do that for you every now and then, or even once a month or something like that. But most of the time, more than likely, it wouldn't take as much for a man, because men are, as we all know, most all men are visual. Before we even approach you, we have to see your face, we have to see your body, and that's pretty much what gets us to walk up to you, to even approach you, to have that conversation with you. So it's something visual about you that's appealing to us, and somehow he's lost some of that visual appeal. He's lost some of that visual sexual appeal to her. That's what I'm getting from this.
What does that mean? Are you not attracted to me?
Of course I'm attracted to
Then
you.
why are you not trying to have sex?
No, I'm trying to have sex, but at the same time, mentally, right?
Yeah, she's very frustrated. You can see it all in her face. She's like, "You're attracted to me, but you don't want to sleep with me. We've been together 3 years. She's just in a relationship. This is kind of like what men go through when they're in a relationship. They're like, what happened? We've been together like how long? For this, and there we go. Sex is just going down. But she should be kind of glad that this happened like in the beginning of the relationship and not like towards the end of a relationship or once you've gotten married, because they're not married. So she should be kind of, happy that she's finding this out early on and not once they've gotten married and once she got a ring or once they've been in a longer term relationship.
You're not there.
I don't want to feel like, okay, anytime you're doing something because you want something.
Okay, so why can't you initiate it? Why do I have to do something? There are days where I don't necessarily do anything. Why can't you just come to me and, try it?
All right, look at this.
No, I've got an idea. Okay,
What's wrong with
this
you?
is something that we do regularly in therapy. Just for a moment, take a minute, and let's go back to what made you fall for each other in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bear with me. I would like you to turn and face each other. Don't say anything, and just look into each other's eyes for approximately, it's going to feel like forever, but in that time, you will find something within yourself that was there at the beginning. Just believe me, this does work. So just please, just turn and face each other and look into each other's eyes. If you wouldn't mind, thank you. It's not supposed to be a penance, by the way.
Sorry, I'm just.
Frustrated.
So what do? We just
You
look at
just
each
look
other.
at each other.
And then what happens after that?
She
That's
went
it.
to look.
Okay.
And don't say nothing. Kind of, just kind of laughing. It doesn't seem like either one of them are as happy as they should be in this relationship. It's just kind of, they don't seem like they're as happy. I know there's going to be issues. Every relationship, no matter how long or how short it is, something's going to come up. Something's going to be an issue. Something's going to cause frustration. Something's going to cause an argument. You just got to deal with it. You're either going to talk about it or you're not going to talk about it. Sometimes men or women, they're non-confrontational and they want to hold it in and they don't want to bring it up. And that in the long run causes more issues than it does help a relationship. You need to talk about it. You need to get it out. If you don't, it's going to just sit there. And that maybe what's going on with him. I don't know. He maybe holds something that he's mad with her about that he's just not talking about, but I don't know. Let's go. Let's see if we play.
How big is this affirmation?
Oh my God, dude.
It's pretty big.
I know they're gonna do that. Let me see if I can find the end of this with them two, and then I'll end the video after that because I didn't want to do this other couple. I just want to do them, and then I'll be done. Didn't intend to watch the whole video, but I'll go ahead and watch it since it's getting more interesting now.
It can be a bit
You know,
exhausting.
first you don't have to carry me every single time we have sex. And even if you did, like, what's the issue? You used to carry me before. So are you lazy now or what?
Things were a bit different.
In what way? I've gained weight.
I did say that.
Then what? Then what's the problem?
Well, would you know if you gained weight?
All my clothes still fit, so I wouldn't think I've gained weight.
Would you know?
I guess, yeah. I haven't gained weight. Have I gained weight? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not trying to say you gained weight, but since we're on the topic, let's have the discussion.
So he's kind of playing these mental gymnastics. He's asking her, how did you know if you gained weight? Did you gain weight? Did you not gain weight? How did I know if I gained? He's playing mental gymnastics with her about the gain weight. Either she gained weight or she didn't. And a lot of times guys don't want to tell women that because the reaction is not positive. A lot of times it's not a conversation. It's going to be a yelling match, a screaming match. They're going to, it doesn't turn. It's not. It wouldn't be the same as when she called him fat. If he were to call her fat, it wouldn't be the same conversation. It wouldn't be had the same way. So let's just see where this goes.
Random question. Just out of curiosity. In the last 6 months, have you weighed yourself? I'm just asking.
What?
Okay. Have you ever calculated your calorie intake?
BMI or something like that.
Yes or no?
What are you trying to
Yes or
say?
no?
I don't calculate my
You don't
calorie
calculate it.
intake.
So, okay. If you didn't calculate it in the last 6 months, the last 3 months,
Yeah, but I still eat the same.
you still eat the same? Okay, cool. Do you calculate what you're eating?
Paul, what exactly?
No.
You were saying something.
You brought up. Let's have the conversation. I didn't bring it up. We're in therapy, and it's a safe place. Let's have the conversation now. If we really want to break it down a
Wait,
bit.
what are you saying?
No,
I'm fat.
I'm not saying you're fat, but you just said I didn't say you're fat. You're the one that said the word fat. Did I say fat?
Now, see, in the beginning, she called him fat, and now she's assuming that he's calling her fat, even though he doesn't. But he's still playing mental gymnastics and saying, "Have you weighed yourself in the last 6 months? Do you know? Have you weighed yourself in the last 3 months, or something like that?" So he's making her think that he thinks that she is fat, but he's not really saying it because it would be perceived differently if he said it versus when she just came out and said it early in the beginning of the video that you were fat when I first met you. If he would have came out and said, "Baby, you're fat. That's why I don't want to sleep with you," she probably would start to look like she's about to cry. I mean, that's what it's looking like because she's kind of look like she's kind of close to that point right now. I mean, it just looks like she's about to get real emotional if he tells her she's fat because she doesn't think she gained weight.
I didn't say fat. What I'm saying
Why are you
is,
getting so
I'm
defensive?
not getting defensive. She's trying to put words into my mouth. Do you understand? I never said she is fat. She's the one that brought it up. And, you know, when you kind of look at it, she's technically, psychologically taking accountability for her own mistakes in terms of, like, maybe her diet or fitness or anything like that. It's not my fault. This is an issue she has for herself. She knows what I do, right? And at the end of the day, between the both of us, we've had discussions where she has mentioned that she wants to lose weight, right? And I said, great, I support you with that, right? However, when it comes to me trying to kind of keep her in check in order to motivate her to achieve her goals.
Now you can see how she's starting to change. Her demeanor's starting to change a little bit. She's face is getting like a little sad. And I mean, she just is looking like she's thinking he's about to call her fat. He's about to say she needs to lose weight, and she just kind of
It becomes a problem. She says, I'm calling her
moving
fat.
differently.
I didn't call you fat. I'm saying that you haven't been tracking your intake. Therefore, technically speaking...
Therefore, you can't carry me during sex.
No. It's not, look, forget about the sex for now.
Because you've gotten
you
bigger.
said fat. You said fat and you said gain weight. Let's stick to that topic. Yeah? Because,
Is that why you don't want to have sex?
No, it's not that. But I just want
There
you
it
to kind
is.
of be...
She's asking the question.
Sexually, right? At the end of the day, if you're not the person doing the lifting, then you're not the person that's going to kind of look into or calculate the weight.
So in other words, I'm fat.
I don't think you're fat.
Babe, just say what it is.
So he's pretty much saying she's gained weight without saying it. So he's kind of taking the politically correct approach by trying not to say I don't think he thinks she's fat, but I think he does think that she has gained weight. But if he comes out and says that she's going to think that he's saying that she is fat because he said she has gained weight. So you can see that's kind of where this conversation is going.
I didn't say you're fat. You're the one that said you're fat. I didn't say you're fat.
So I'm fat.
I didn't say you're fat. You said you're fat. Don't put words in my mouth.
Paul, please lower your voice slightly, first of all. And secondly, would this be a reason for you not to be
with... Okay, cool. Do you know what? Do you know what, yeah? I'll be honest with you. Yeah, hand on my heart. Yeah, I swear. I will be with you through thick and thin. I promise. I was chubby before. And she loved me the same way. When I used to have my transformation sessions, she would show me. I didn't say you were chubby. I'm speaking to myself. I said I was chubby. But now, this is insecurity.
No woman wants to hear that she's put on weight, especially by her partner, somebody she finds physically attractive. The fact that
See there, she doesn't want to hear it, but like she can call him fat. That's kind of like the double standard. A woman can call a man fat all day, but if he just insinuates that you gained some weight and didn't even say the word fat, she's already in the defense mechanism saying you calling me fat. But that's how that double standard. Like in the beginning, she called him fat. She pretty much, you can go back and watch the beginning. She said in the beginning, when I first met you, you were fat. But if he comes back and tell her she's fat, it's going to be a whole nother situation. It's going to be a whole nother story that comes out. A whole nother attitude is going to pop up if he was to say that she was fat. Because you can kind of see it you can see the ball kind of rolling inside her. Like she's trying to get it out of him. Because it sounds like he doesn't want to say she's fat. He just want to say she's gained weight. But he doesn't say, he doesn't even want to say she's gained weight.
he's not even being direct about it is what's pissing me off, because you feel a type of way and you're going around bends around the bush.
Yeah, he is.
He's being very insensitive right now, very disrespectful.
But I also believe even if he were to tell her the truth, she still wouldn't take it. She still wouldn't take it the way that to have a conversation about it. She would probably get more defensive about it. That's where it looks like she's about to do right now. Like she's jumping defensive. She's having these facial expressions. Like she's getting a little emotional.
I don't really know why I'm here. You're getting defensive, and I know when you do that, that means you're trying to say something, but you're not saying it with your chest. That's why you don't want to have sex.
Because
you're
no
longer
space where
attracted
you
to
can
me.
say however
That's
you
what I was
feel,
saying
but
earlier. He's probably not attracted
please
anymore.
don't attack each other. Just
Did I attack her? Okay, did I attack her?
I'm not physically, no, but verbally, it's coming over.
How? She said she is fat. I didn't say she's fat. She said she's fat. So how is that me attacking her verbally? I'm saying what she just said.
I'm tired. How long?
She's done.
Because you've just called me fat.
I didn't call you fat.
And there's cameras around, first of all. And now this is the first time I'm hearing it. So this is obviously the reason why.
See, this is the reason why he didn't want to tell her in the first place, because he knew if he told her, she would probably check out. Now she's saying she's ready for the session to be over. She's ready to go. How long is this session going to be? And it was in the beginning, it was fine when she called him fat. It was nothing at all. You know what I mean? There was nothing wrong then. But now, even if he would have said it, which he did, just repeat her words. If he would have called her fat, she's just ready to check out.
We don't have sex because you don't find me attractive anymore.
That's not true.
And you're saying it for the first time.
And he's holding his head down.
That's not true.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm keeping that. Thank you. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more.
Okay. I can appreciate that it's been a difficult session, but if you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to send you away with some homework.
Yeah, fine. Can we just do that quickly? Thank you.
She's ready to get out of there and go to the home. She's probably going to leave.
5 things, both of you, 5 things that you were.
She sounds like she's not even want. She's checked out a relationship. She sounds like you calling me fat. I don't want to do this anymore. Get the cameras out of my face. I'm ready to go home. She's like, wow, okay.
Appreciate in each other, and 5 things that you have done for each other.
She's about to cry.
So it doesn't have to be on one day, obviously. Over the last few weeks, can you think of 5 things with both of those subject matters?
Okay.
Shoma, please, just calm down.
I'm calm. I'm okay.
Okay. You know, things do get very heated in sessions, and, you know, sometimes things are
I knew she was going to cry.
in the wrong way, but
She didn't want him to touch her.
Denise, can we leave?
I can see that there's real value in you as a couple.
Denise,
I can't believe you said that on
you're
camera.
making it worse, Denise. Can we leave now?
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you. Babes.
Yeah, she's probably checked out her relationship. She might be done.
Fucking talk to me. I can't believe you said that on fucking camera.
Babe, come on. You know, I understand that Choma's quite upset at this moment with the way things have kind of played out in terms of the whole weight gain and stuff. Sometimes I try to motivate her.
Yeah, that's kind of the end of the video, guys. I mean, I kind of feel like she was gonna get emotional from the way she was going, by the way the tone of her voice was going, the way her body language was moving, and he didn't really call her fat. She said, "Do you think I'm fat?" And since he said, "Since you calling yourself fat," he kind of, I mean, it came out of his mouth, but she kind of brought it up. I just think you can kind of see it coming. But you can see why he'd been with her for a while, so he knew if he would have told her that this more likely was the reaction he was going to get, and he was trying to avoid that. So sometimes when men don't say something, it's because they're trying to avoid that, I guess, the letdown, the hurt. So they try to avoid that, but when she just tried to beat it out of him, you can see he's trying to kind of play the mental gymnastics of, I'm not calling you fat, but you kind of give me these hints that you've gained weight, asking her, have you weighed yourself in the last 6 months? Have you weighed yourself in the last 3 months? Have you been paying attention to what you've been eating? So it's kind of like telling her that you gain weight, even though you don't, even though you think you're wearing the same clothes, even though you're fitting the same clothes, that you kind of starting to gain weight, and he just doesn't want to tell her. And a lot of times that happens in relationships where guys get together, either they're married or not, and the woman starts to gain weight, and a lot of times the guys doesn't want to tell them, or if they feel like if they do tell them, it's going to be something like this, where they feel like they're hurting them. Like, because if a man telling you that you've lost weight, and that's the reason why he's not interested in you sexually. That may be the reason. That's what I was saying in the video. Like, that may be one of the reasons why he's not sexually attracted anymore, because he feels like she's gained weight, and he just didn't tell her. That's why communication in relationships, that's important. Communication is what you need. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. You can see it in this video. Like, she walked off crying. She didn't want him to touch her because she's put herself out there trying to trying to get him in the mood, trying to set up situation, trying to set the tone, the candles, the rose petals, the lingerie. Like she said, she walked around in booty shorts and he wouldn't even pay attention. And then that's what it kind of sounded like when I was watching. Like, he sounded like he's just sexually not interested anymore. And for whatever reason, he wasn't. And as you can see, like, he was starting to focus more on his weight loss and started to focus more on eating the calories. And she was more focused on eating whatever she wanted to eat, which was her African heritage food that she was taught from her grandmother and mother, and I can kind of see from that that was the difference. That was what after he started losing his weight, started to go on his journey. He see that she wasn't going on it with him as well, and he, I guess, just not attracted to her sex anymore. And I mean, I'm just guessing that that's what it is. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Gonna be more videos coming out like this, different kind of videos, maybe relationship videos, funny videos, all kind of videos. If you have a suggestion for a video you want me to react to, just put it down below in the comment section. Again, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. This is Reactionary. I'm out.